Last week, Apple announced during his WWDC a lot of new features, a lot of updates on each platform. There are a lot of visual things, but there are also interesting features like customization on iOS, even the colors of your apps you can change. You can lock your apps, you can hide your apps even. But also on other platforms we see huge updates like mirroring your phone on your Mac. You can we even have RCS support for messages. On Vision Pro even we see new gestures, and obviously something that everybody already read about is the whole AI section during the conference, which draw a lot of attention. We see on-device AI, but we also see AI in Apple Private Compute Cloud, or how you should name it, with the breakout through OpenAI. But Björn, what was your most interesting update that you saw?
Yeah, I think what you just mentioned with the OpenAI, not really the AI features in all the platforms, but the allowing the efficiency gain in applications. I think that's a huge leap forward to see in notes in all Apple applications, that this AI is getting more and more integrated and more powerful than ever before with the on-device and the Apple Compute, and they're all concerned about privacy at Apple, so I think that's the good way forward on that one.
Yeah, the good thing there is the summarizing thing, and basically where you gain indeed some more efficiency. Also in notifications we see that there's summarizing, and that in fact at a glance you can see whatever happened during the last period.
It's all about efficiency. I think it's all about getting more efficient. If we talk about business, using in business, I think that's one of the most important things for me on the announcements last week on the conference. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a huge fan of the calculator, to be honest. So not even that it's a calculator just on iPad OS. We were missing that for a huge while, but what Apple here did was really extend that feature completely. It's really impressive what they do with that. I don't think it's very complicated to do, but it's really good. It's a good hack of your camera, your handwriting.
Yeah, I think that's again all the AI features coming into the practice now, to see that using these features to enrich a simple calculator like they did now on the iPad. Yeah, that's true.
And for me as well, the fact that you can mirror your phone now on your Mac is something that I really like, because you only need one device. Then you just leave it in your pocket and you have your phone screen if you need it on your Mac.
Yeah, fully controllable. Again, with full privacy mode as well, because people can't watch on your iPhone if it's laying there. It's still locked, so I think that's
Okay. Well. Things that are missing. In each conference there are things that we miss.
Yeah. Vision Pro is not coming to our region, not yet. So we're all looking forward to that one. And I think also what I was missing, and I don't know if it will be announced in the future or not, but there was a lot about AI integration into their Apple applications like Notes and the Apple Mail, but not really on third-party applications, not on the Office suite, because I think that's where people are looking at as well, because most of the people are using these kind of applications even on their mobile devices today.
We'll see if there are kits available for that for external developers to.
I think they announced there were some APIs available, but they didn't go into detail whether Microsoft or other vendors will already introduce them. So that's something to look forward to.
It will be interesting to see who will adopt those new capabilities.
Yeah. And for you?
Yeah, what I missed is, and it's going on for years already. I really would like a Mac to have a touchscreen. I try to dream of it every year, but it's never going to happen, I think. What's new on device management? That's more our domain of expertise. We see some significant changes on Apple Business Manager.
Yeah, Apple Business Manager, important updates. First of all, on the organizational side, so you can now claim personal Apple IDs and turn into managed Apple accounts, because that's the new name for managed Apple IDs, without integrating with an IDP. So I think in terms of adoption of this managed Apple accounts, that will be easier for companies because they don't have the it's no longer needed to have an IDP integrated as well. Users can still claim during the first 30 days if they don't agree, so that's still possible.
Okay, so that's a good solution for all those customers or all those users with their corporate email on their personal account, right? Yeah. Maybe it's not really the same thing, but there's a new trick on activation lock.
Yeah, I think that's for me the most important one in all the updates we've seen on Apple Business Manager. So activation lock, it's a security feature on all Apple devices when the device is stolen, that you need to have authenticate with the Apple ID, which has been used before on the device. So it's causing quite some issues with customers, because if they don't know the Apple ID, so they can bypass the activation lock. So the activation lock bypass is an MDM feature.
That was already available.
It was already available for years as an MDM feature, but it turned out that in some cases it wasn't set up properly, so it didn't work, or there were some issues with that one. And that's something now which Apple has taken out of the MDM, but introduced in Apple Business Manager. So this means that all the supervised devices managed in Apple Business Manager, available in Apple Business Manager, you can turn on, turn off activation lock. So I think for all these devices laying in closets at IT departments, that will be a solution in the future to avoid this one. So,
so that would avoid all those brick devices that we have.
Brick devices.
We see you customers with brick devices.
and you needed to contact Apple support to unlock with proof of purchase. So a lot of administration, which will all be handled now with this activation lock feature in Apple Business Manager. Yeah.
And that's for iOS devices, iPads as well. I think for Macs even.
Macs even. So for Mac you can have also the personal activation lock. You can overrule that. And because they've now also introduced Vision Pro and Apple Watch as devices also managed in Apple Business Manager, it's also possible for these kind of devices. So you now have a full overview of all your managed Apple devices in Apple Business Manager with the introduction of the Watch and the Vision Pro. So yeah, I think it's the importance of Apple Business Manager is becoming a lot higher now than it used to be.
It's feature richer,
like
they say. And so interesting. Vision Pro and Apple Watch. We have a thing called automatic enrollment, which we are already using for years. So that's coming to Vision Pro as well.
Vision Pro now also have the zero touch enrollment using Business Manager, Apple Business Manager. So what we see with Vision Pro also, so now in terms of management, more and more features are enabled in terms of MDM management as well. So it's not yet equal to iPhone or iPad management, but since the introduction of the Vision Pro 1.1 and the 2.0 now, there's already a huge step forward in terms of management. So it's considered as a business device.
That's something that really was striking throughout the presentation. That we really have you have these nice features that that speaks and gets the headlights, but a lot of example use cases were indeed for business. And then for Watch, we also see enrollment. Obviously, you need a companion phone for that.
So these will be enrolled, also automatically enrolled, zero touch enrolled, if you pair your watch to a supervised device. So it was already the case, but they enriched it as well and have some new features on Apple Watch management as well, and they are visible in Business Manager now. So.
Then on MDMs, so we covered Apple Business Manager, but on MDMs we also see significant changes in software management updates.
Software management updates. So they announced it's not 100% clear what the new features will be. They talk about better notifications for the customer to understand that their updates will be planned and will be forced to the device. One feature which is which is new is beta management. So you can now manage beta versions as well on all these devices, but for the rest it's still waiting for some more details on how it will look like, if it will solve some issues we saw in the past with cellular updates updates through cellular networks. So yeah, wait and see for the next betas to arrive, and then we can start testing as well in the MDMs. Yeah.
We see also changes in, I name a few Safari extensions. They are now manageable. Also, the naming convention throughout the platforms is a bit better, and it's now profiles.
Yeah, so they
name it device management everywhere.
Yeah, so it's now called device management, like it used to be already on iPadOS and iOS. It's now the case on macOS as well.
Okay, and then in the first seconds of this video, I was talking about hiding and locking apps. Is that also something that we can manage?
Yeah, hiding and locking apps. So you can disable it, or on a per app basis you can allow it, but you cannot say, these apps
should be locked.
Yeah. Okay. So you can say, you can allow it. And
there is again user chooser. And then, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
We had some troubling time with stolen device protection. It's something that was introduced in iOS 17. They changed it a little bit throughout the versions of iOS 17, but there are changes there as well, right?
Yeah. So with the stolen device protection, there was a grace period for 1 hour if the device is not in a known location, and during this grace period you could not install MDM profiles, for example. So it was causing some issues during rollouts of projects. They slightly changed that one. Now for newly enrolled devices, you can enroll if you're using user enrollment, for example. You can still enroll them within the first.
So you don't have to wait for.
You don't have to wait for the grace period is over. Something we're waiting for, we need to check, is if this will also be the case for migrating from one MDM to another one, which today is causing these kind of issues. So that's something to look out for the future. If they will.
So basically, it would be great if that grace period is removed as well, so that once you have retired from the legacy MDM and you enroll in new one, that you don't have to wait for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Also, what is a trusted location? Nobody still knows.
Yeah,
right?
that's the Apple surprise.
Yeah, there you go. Right, we already talked about Vision Pro, where we see this more and more as a business device. Is that also true for the management capabilities?
Yeah, so as already stated, let's say the typical basics like wiping a device, locking a device, pushing a passcode, even pushing Wi-Fi's, and these kind of things are already possible. So it's coming close to what we see for other devices in the Apple ecosystem today. Use cases, I think we see for Vision Pro, remote support. I saw a very nice demo last week of a famous remote support vendor using Vision Pro. So I think that could be the future there. Frontline work, also linked to that one. Obviously training, because that's one of the key elements of extended reality. But also in healthcare and even in office work. Why not having a 4D display just in front of you to do all your work? So I think that will be interesting to see how it will change in the next coming years to get these devices more and more in the business. Yeah.
Okay, so we still have to wait to throw away all our screens that we have in our offices. That's not coming there so fast, I think. What did we miss for managing devices?
Today, we don't know, maybe it's still coming because we're still in the first beta versions of the new releases. We don't know if we can manage the new passport application and the new introduced passport app. Will it be manageable or not? Would be great if we could manage that one as well.
For an enterprise,
from an enterprise perspective. And also, what you already one of the new features you liked, the iPhone on your Mac. I can imagine for some enterprise that could be seen as a kind of a security or a privacy risk. So we didn't see a payload yet to manage these. So I'm curious to see if this will be introduced in the future as well.
Okay, interesting. If you want to read more, we published some 2 white papers. One more general white paper on everything that has been announced on WWDC, but also one with a technical deep dive, and I'm sure you will find some links to it.